VYSE is the newest Valorant agent that everyone is losing their minds over. By now, you must have seen at least a dozen people saying that she's either broken or overpowered, but that really isn't the case, and there's a very easy way to play her and play against her. We'll explain it all in this video. We'll start by showing how her abilities work, compare this to other agents that already fit this role, understanding how she can carve out a niche for herself, and what the best situations are for her and win conditions for her to thrive in. Without further ado, let's get started. At first, we start with her signature ability, or her E ability, Arc Rose. This is probably the most unique flash in the entire game. It has the placement mechanics of a Cypher Cam if you press left click, and it has the properties of a breach flash if you press right click. Essentially, you can either place it on the wall that you're looking at, or with a right click on the other side of the wall that you're looking at. You can choose when to activate it, just like a Killjoy Molotov. When every other agent uses their flash, they have to put their gun away for a few seconds. However, that is absolutely not the case with VYSE. Like literally in the middle of a gunfight, you can simply press E and it will blind for you. You don't even need to look at the flash to use it. Places like B long on Bind or A long on Haven are the perfect spots to kind of use this. The duration of the flash is 2.25 seconds, just like a breach. However, you can't exactly use it like a breach flash. You see, the breach flash is instant. However, for the Arc Rose, the delay in between your rose getting deployed and you actually flashing people with it, there is quite a lot of delay, and your enemies can break the Arc Rose during that time. The only good thing about this flash is the cooldown. It's only 20 seconds and that is insanely low. If they shoot down your flash, the cooldown increases to 45 seconds. So it's best to retract it after you've used it. Of course, just like any other flash, it can be dodged if you turn away from it. If your reflexes are fast enough, you can try to break the rose. And even though you will get flashed, you will at least be able to make sure that the rose is broken and the enemy VYSE has a 45-second cooldown now. This flash also has the ability to give you some information. If an enemy gets blinded, there is an extra voice line.
Blinding! Good hit.
The next ability is called Shear. This is the Q ability. You can place it along the edges, and if an enemy passes through it, it will create an indestructible wall. If this wall gets activated, you will be notified, so it essentially works like a Cypher tripwire, but instead of just gathering information about the enemy, this creates an indestructible wall. That is correct, indestructible. However, this only lasts for 7 seconds, so your only options over here are to either wait it out or to find a way around it. However, if all of your enemies decide to walk past it at the same time, then it is quite possible for multiple people to cross this wall before anyone gets blocked. You cannot try to boost yourself up on the wall, it will push you aside rather than letting you climb it. But you can climb the wall after it has been activated. Your enemies can see it from quite far away, so they can just jump over it and turn back, come behind it again for safety. Consider using this wall with another ability that helps you fight. For example, you can use this wall in a tight choke, and the moment it gets triggered, use the Brimstone ultimate along the edges of it. The C ability is called Razorvine. Costing only 150 credits, this ability can be deployed on the ground and triggered whenever you want. When you detonate it, it will spawn a bunch of razor wires on the ground that will slow you down and damage you. It doesn't slow you down as much as a Sage slow up would, and it does far less damage than any other Molotov. Even if you move through it, it only deals 6 damage per tick. In fact, if you don't move, you won't even take any damage. This Razorvine, just like any other Killjoy nanostorm grenades, can be seen once the enemies get close enough. The average distance is 10 meters, and once you see it, you can break it.
Thorns down.
If you move through the Razorvine, it plays a different footstep sound cue, so you can use that for information.
Thorns are alive.
Unlike most Molotovs, which can only be thrown at a certain range, this one can be thrown across the map. That means you can kinda make lineups out of it. Last but not the least, her ultimate, Steel Garden. This is honestly busted, and the primary reason why people think that this agent will be absolutely goated is because of this ultimate. It costs 8 points, and once you activate it, it will create a massive circle of steel vines around you. The enemies caught in this area will only have a couple of seconds to escape, and if they don't, their primary guns will be jammed for 8 seconds. The radius of this ultimate is exactly that of a Killjoy lockdown. However, the circle is centered around you, so you need to be mindful of your own position to get the most out of it. Go as deep as you can so that you can disarm as many enemies as possible. The strongest part overall of her entire kit is her cost. The flash, her strongest ability, is basically free. The wall is only 200 credits. The Molotovs are 150 each. This entire kit can be purchased with just 500 credits, making her the perfect character for economy management. On top of that, the fact that you can remove your enemy's guns away is just bonkers. Imagine your enemy is saving up for a few rounds to buy an AWP only for it to get jammed in the ultimate. If you pair this up with a KO ultimate, your enemies won't have abilities and they won't have weapons, which honestly is kinda unfair. You can get plenty of thrifty wins with this character, so keep an eye on the money tap and pay attention to what your teammates are buying. As a Sentinel, her ability to slow down the round is not as great as Sage or Killjoy. Okay, sure, her wall is good, it's indestructible, it provides good information, but there's still several ways to avoid getting trapped by it. This is the kind of Sentinel where you are encouraged to fight more with the Flash. I love the direction that Valorant is moving in right now, as they are coming up with these hybrid agents. Just like Globe, who was a hybrid of a controller and a duelist, VYSE seems more like a mix of an initiator and a sentinel. And she can be aggressive enough to be played as a duelist. As more and more teams adapt to her and start using her, I think this character can find a really good place in the meta. Let me know what you think about VYSE in the comments below, and subscribe for more such content.